boy, welcome back, everybody. We're live on Theme Park Wizard, YouTube, and hopefully Patreon. Yeah, it looks like it's working. But we are here with the Doctor, the one and only Dr. Dre, and we're gonna go a deep dive into this Epic Universe concept art, official concept art, right here, with the one and only expert, Doctor himself. Doctor, introduce yourself.
Well, I do appreciate it, good sir. Expert on things generally theme park, but I don't know. I'm really talking to the real expert when it comes to all things Universal. So thank you so much for the introduction right there. You can, my name is Vash Sky. You can go ahead and find me on That Park Place for all the news that should be fun, where we cover all things entertainment, gaming, video, theme parks, studios, all kinds of stuff right there for general content. We usually upload a couple videos a day. We also go live every single Thursday at 12 Eastern. So definitely go ahead and check that out. And Wizard and I do a podcast together called the Theme Park Universe Podcast.
That's
where we
right.
upload twice a month right there and cover all things theme parks broadly, all basically worldwide. Is that right, Wizard?
Yeah, basically, we got everything.
And that is a lot of fun, for sure. We've had Marty on, Casual on just recently. Definitely got to check that out. But I think today we're going to be talking about all things Epic Universe, which we actually, if you listen to that recording back, Theme Park Universe, I believe that was episode 9, we actually alluded to it. We said, this is recorded on Monday. We know things are going to pop off on Tuesday. Sorry, but hopefully this makes up for it.
Oh, yes. It's going to make up for it quite a bit. Because we're going to the deepest dive out there.
The deepest dive. You know, right in there, right there. So hopefully this is going to be a lot of fun. Let's see here.
Let me see if this is... Okay, cool. So, Doctor, let's share the screen, shall we?
Yes. So we know that Tuesday was a pretty big announcement right there. And before we get to the kind of the nook and cranny of the whole thing, Wizard, do we want to play the video that was shared? Okay, let me go ahead and find that here real fast. Because this is a fly through. Yeah, but we want to get the real thing here for you guys. So give me just 1 second here, and we will go ahead and get that for you.
Oh boy!
Oh yes!
Wait.
Sorry.
I've never seen this before.
You've never seen it? Oh, come on,
Just
Wizard.
kidding.
I know you're kidding. Here you go, right here.
Oh, look how beautiful. Look at this.
Right?
I mean, look at that, Doc.
My standard answer is the next one. We live by the ethos that the next thing we do is going to be better than the last thing we did. So even though we've created some really incredible experiences, we're always looking to how do we make the next one even better? And it really starts back with the origins of our business back in 1964 with the world famous Universal Tram Tour. And from there, we expanded and built the first standalone park at Universal Studios Florida, which really became about riding the movies, and that was an invention of Steven Spielberg, taking them...
Yeah, so I didn't realize this before this video, but I guess Steven Spielberg is pretty heavily involved in the construction of even Epic Universe.
He was touring the Dark Universe area the other day.
Oh, well, that's interesting. I did not know that. People will know from the history of Universal that Universal really they really hitched their wagon to Steven Spielberg's horse right there, and it has turned out remarkably. I guess they use so much of Steven Spielberg's own creations in like Islands of Adventure that he gets like 10%, even including the gate, which is insane.
God, he never has to work again.
I agree.
Into their stories, not just the attraction experience, but blows it out into entire worlds. And the challenge became, what can we do next?
where should we be if nobody tried to find out what lies beyond? Have you never wanted to do anything that was dangerous? You never wanted to look beyond the clouds and the stars?
Very ambitious.
We went to the fans and we asked them.
Yeah,
and the
they
answer
went to the fans talking.
Yeah, they went to the fans. By the way, there's going to be obviously comparisons with the theme park property a little bit south on I-4. But when have you heard a theme park proprietor ever talk about, we went to the fans, we asked them what they wanted to see. We really kind of, read the room kind of thing before we actually embarked on this huge endeavor. Not a lot of times you hear that.
We went to the fans and we asked them. And the answer was pretty compelling. Give us more of your great storytelling, more of the immersive environments, and do it in the most visceral manner possible. Universal Epic Universe is comprised of 5 incredibly themed worlds, and in those, over 50 unique.
So there's been some discussion about the model here, and that the model that he was necessarily standing, Mark Woodbury, the chairman of experiences for Universal. There's been some talk that the model that he was originally standing in front of at the very start of the video might be slightly different than this model right here. What's your take on that? And do you have any comments?
Yeah, so I was looking on the Patreon discussion. Yes, this model is actually very old, and there's a lot of stuff. And they said they actually had to film it in such a way where they, because a lot of the models actually, believe it or not, damaged. So they had to film it in such a way where they didn't get the damages and also didn't get the stuff that was not in there anymore.
Oh.
Because it looks like even the coaster is not in there for the Dark Universe. It looks like it's still the amphitheater.
Right, still the amphitheater. That's a good point. And
so
then we know
quite a while ago.
Okay. And we also know that there's going to be a building right here, for example.
Yeah.
It's going to be like one of the restaurants. Not necessarily going to be open on day one. Is that right?
Yeah, it's going to be like a new restaurant that's like under construction. Man, it's going to be there. And there's like a couple buildings over there between Starfall Racers and Harry Potter that aren't there. So yeah, it's mostly the same, but just a few tweaks. It's not like someone else who makes drastic changes to their concept art where it was good enough they can use it, but there's a couple of differences.
Gotcha. Okay, let's go ahead and continue.
Neat, compelling experiences. The idea was to bring you to these worlds you couldn't otherwise possibly imagine. And to do that, we wanted to create a mechanism that allowed you to be transported into another world. And it starts at the very entrance of the park itself.
You'll enter underneath the Chronos, the first portal, where all the planets will align, and exhilarating discoveries await as you begin your journey into Celestial Park.
Celestial Park is a world in and of itself, where fans have come to seek the ultimate adventure.
So let me go ahead and go back just a little bit right here. Not too Brian Robinson, but some of the art like this. This is what really captivated me on Tuesday when this video was originally released. Just incredible. I mean, if you look at the theming, the architectural, the detail, it is all meshing extremely well right here. We have Mediterranean influences, European influences. We have kind of almost a steampunk type vibe in some places. We've got the infusion of copper and brass, and you have that.
Yeah, I like that copper and it makes that gold color. I really like that. And yeah, it feels like I'm stepping back in time but in the future with that. Yeah, like you said, that Jules Verne-ish type of going on there. I like that. And then the waterfalls there. Oh, look at all that water.
So much water. You have these stained glass canopies, with metal ironwork and so forth. You have this water right here, which is a really big emphasis here, right? Which is really, really cool to see from a modern theme park. We've seen some embark on this kind of park-like beautification, but the implementation of water has been lacking. This is really water heavy, which is so great. You have the rolling hills, those grassy hills right there with that lush foliage. Oh, this is just fantastic.
And plenty of places to sit down. It'll be quite nice to relax there.
That's right. That's right. Some people were saying, well, wait a minute, where's the shade? Where's the benches? Oh, trust me, there is plenty. And we'll go into it more with the fly-through.
and exhilarating discoveries await as you begin your journey into Celestial Park.
Celestial Park is a world in and of itself, where fans have come to seek the ultimate adventure.
You can see right here, we now have dancing fountains. We have multiple little pools right here. And then we have a broad view of Celestial Park.
It's where we put the park back into theme park.
Yes. Oh, yes. And the hotel, the Helios Hotel at the very
Nice
back end of the land.
backdrop. Like, look at that. It's like a picture perfect backdrop to the whole thing.
Oh, it's absolutely great. It's definitely something that draws you forward, right? And provides a great canvas by which you can projection map some things on there, right? We'll get into that more.
The ultimate adventure.
It's where we put the park back into theme park.
It has beautiful landscaping, incredible water features, amazing dining experiences, fantastic shopping opportunities, and 3 spectacular attractions. Constellation Carousel, a cosmos-inspired carousel unlike...
Look at that right there. I mean, just absolutely remarkable. We see more of that kind of that bronze celestial / almost steampunk type influence right there. The gorgeous glass canopy. It looks like a jewel for multiple areas of Celestial Park. A nice place to, hook your peepers on when you're sitting down having a, I don't know, enjoying a butterbeer, let's say, in Celestial Park. Just absolutely phenomenal stuff right here.
Beautiful. I mean, look at that. It just, that's like the most beautiful carousel ever.
To me, it almost evoked like if you've ever seen the teacups at Disneyland Paris, for example. It's got a beautiful glass canopy on top of it. It reminded me of that, but integrated into this kind of hub area is really, really cool.
anything you've ever seen. Astronomica, where you can play with dancing fountains. And Starfall Racers, a dual-launch coaster where you race through the sky upon a shooting star.
And anchoring this incredible world is the amazing Universal Helios Grand.
Man, look at that Helios Hotel.
Hello, showcase.
Oh, you can see this is really well thought out because you have this pool right in front there, which is going to be not a pool, but a lagoon, which will service water lagoon shows, obviously color, dancing fountains, all that. You have this beautiful backdrop, which is kind of curved out in such a way that it creates a wonderful projection canvas, like we were saying before. Some people were very worried about the traffic in this area, right? And how maybe it might be congested, but you can actually see in this artwork right here, the amphitheater seating that will be available or standing, depending on how they use it. That will provide a lot of capacity for these shows. Also too, Wizard, I have heard that they might also want to go the drone route with this park. Have you heard anything with that?
Yes, they want to do. They can either do some drones or both, or fireworks. But there's a fireworks launching pad on the lake behind the hotel. And
in the lake. Okay.
Yeah, they can definitely probably do some drones. Probably a nice mix. Maybe we'll Disneyland Paris thing, do the mix of fireworks and drones. That'd be pretty dope.
As you can see from this artworks right here, this is kind of a first look of the interior of this space. I'm sure you guys have seen it.
My goodness, it looks like a tree. The center of it, see that? Looks like a tree trunk. How it twists into the twists up into the little support ceiling support. It's like a little tree or something. So interesting.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be the meeting between heaven and earth. Is that right? And to me, this almost looks Asgardian in nature, which is kind of cool. It's a great look to go with. This is absolutely amazing right here. Is this the top of the world bar, or is this somewhere else?
This, I'm trying to look. I don't think it's the top because the trees. Look, I feel like there won't be that many trees like that. I feel like it might be on. I think it's in that portion that kind of juts out towards the park a little bit on the ground, like a ground floor restaurant bar area. Because it looks like with all those trees, I feel like the park's right there, and then the pool or the show is just right, behind those trees there.
Gotcha.
But the top there, that lower picture to the right hand side with the kind of glass cylinder, that looks like the top dome.
Gotcha. Okay. You can see this right here. This is supposed to be kind of a two-sided hotel. So one side is going to be obviously the premium side, right, with the very expensive hotel rooms that are park facing. But on the back end, you're going to have the entry, this kind of drive-through, lobby drop-off area. Right there, you're going to have also the pool on that side as well. So you'll get stunning views no matter what. Obviously, everybody's going to want to go for those park views. They're probably going to go quick with 500 rooms. But then you can kind of see right here. This is the back side of the Helios Hotel right here, not the theme park side. Just beautiful throughout. I mean, really, really stunning imagery right here. Let's go ahead and continue.
John is correct. Where there's definitely going to be drones in the how to train a dragon at nighttime, or the drone dragons at nighttime.
Right. I heard a little bit of this, Wizard. I think you were telling me, or Jonas or somebody, that there were going to be, dragon drones, which is really cool because people will remember Disney made a whole big to-do about the flying dragon that flew over New Fantasyland when that debuted. And they never did it again. So it'd be really cool to get that on a regular basis.
And they made a big deal about the drone spaceships with the Galaxy's Edge.
Right.
Hotel.
Yes,
500
that's true.
rooms integrated into the park like no other theme park in the world.
And from here, you can jump into any world. Portal like an adventurer to find all of the worlds you've ever seen.
Doesn't look cool.
How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk.
We made the dream a reality. The world's first dragon Viking utopia.
You soar with dragons and have a Viking adventure based on the great movie franchise.
Again,
And
we'll
the
go over this in more
ultimate wish
detail, yeah, for
fulfillment
sure.
of flying dragons.
We have this great history with horror. So we thought, is there a way for us to breathe new life into the classic Universal monster family?
It's alive! It's alive!
Dark Universe, a world where Universal's classic monsters are reimagined in an ominous and chilling experience.
Everything you've ever wanted to experience with monsters is in this world.
Highly anticipated.
When the
by way.
fans told us to give us more of what we did really well, our thinking became, could we create another chapter of the wizarding world of Harry Potter?
In the wizarding world of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic, you'll get to experience moments from both 1920s Paris from Fantastic Beasts and the British Ministry of Magic from the Harry Potter series.
The ride inside of that world, I can't tell you because it has to be a surprise.
Well, we can tell you though.
Oh, that's right.
we can tell you a little bit right there, but we'll get into that. Let's see the last world here, and then we'll
You
start
come to
breaking it down.
Universal Orlando, you're going to get this trilogy of storytelling that is unlike anything else in the world.
We'll have Super Nintendo World, where you can jump into the action and step into the world of Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, and Donkey Kong.
You'll arrive in the most interactive, colorful world we've ever created.
You get to play in the world that you've only played on a screen.
Epic Universe represents a tremendous addition, almost doubling the size of Universal Orlando Resort.
It is
And it's
huge.
funny because if you looked at the Nintendo World, that's from Hollywood. But
I saw that.
also you can see this was filmed quite a while ago because look how small the hotel looks like and look how small the park looks, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, it is far more along than what this would convey right here. I mean, they're really going all out on this stuff, which kind of brings me to kind of breaking these lambs down. Should we start maybe at Super Nintendo World, because I think that's one we know the most of, obviously, because we've seen previous iterations of that.
First we can go, okay, so with the park, just a couple things about the carousel. If you saw on the video there, some of you might have the ability to, like, each thing, at least the carriages, not the horses, but the ability, like, to spin on, like, might look like, if you look in that video, look like some of the things were spinning while you're on the carousels. That'd be a cool feature, potentially. And then the Starfall Racers will be going at about 62 miles per hour. with the max height of 133 feet, and that is the celestial spin element, where you do the crisscrossing outer inversion thingy thing.
Right. I jumped ahead of myself, Wizard. You're exactly correct. 62 miles per hour, 133 feet in terms of its top height, like you said right there, 5,000 feet of track. This is really cool because I guess the coaster cars are going to be lit up at night to look like comets shooting through the cosmos.
With
very
onboard
cool.
audio.
Oh, I love the onboard audio portion of it. And the in the promotional materials given out to press, they say this about Constellation Carousel. It's made up of celestial creatures. As it goes around, they each turn 360 degrees, quote, making you feel like you're caught up in the Milky Way, riding on constellations throughout the galaxy. It's covered in hundreds of points of starlight. So both of these attractions, actually, the emphasis is really placed on how good they're going to be at night. And I think that kind of speaks to what Universal's intention for Celestial Park is. Am I on the right track there, Wizard?
Yeah, it's their intention is, you enter the world in a galaxy. You're in the middle of the galaxy, right? In these constellations. And you go through these portals. It's almost like reminds of like Disney's What If show, because you start off like the Watcher's in that middle realm, and then you go into images. And then that's like and then you go and you're like in space, and then you go into these four different worlds of different universes or whatever. And then you're in these cool spots, which is pretty cool. And it's funny, Joseph here says he's been seeing a lot of comments of people doubting they'll have it done for 3 years from now because they don't know that it's been working on it for so long.
They've been working on this nonstop, and I love how they, Universal really held a lot of things back up until this moment in order to not only drive hype, but also to give people kind of marching orders, essentially, like, hey, this is going to be open soon. This is not something that you're going to be waiting for forever. This is going to be opening next year, which, by the way, that's significant as well. They've removed the summer tag from their promotional materials, which used to be, that's pretty ingrained in there. Any speculation as to what that is?
Yeah, it looks like, from what I've heard, they may, instead of summer, may open like in maybe early spring, early to mid-spring there. But they're not sure yet.
Not sure. You can see right here, this is the kind of portal idea that Wizard was speaking to. And you can actually see the theming and the integration of these different very unique worlds actually spills out into Celestial Park, even more so than even just the portals themselves. You can see even the ground, the hardscaping right there, is done in such a way that it creates that transition for you, right? And from what we understand, in terms of dividing Celestial Park from these themed worlds, and maybe even having this kind of this idea of an integrated city walk within this park, right, that is accessible to guests regardless of ticket, but is these lands are cordoned off for people that do have theme park tickets. We're thinking that maybe that process takes place in front. Is that right?
Yeah, we're thinking that like in this little colored pathway here, that's where you get you scan your facial recognition thing for your ticket to be able to access the portal right over there. And each land has a different colored plaza looking thing that probably will be and each one of them, if you notice, it's kind of sectioned off from the main walkway, so it's not like regular people will be walking through there because it's kind of sectioned off as a different pattern, clearly defined area to queue up or scan in to access your world.
Right, and as we look at some of the visuals from here, you can actually see kind of to me, this is a reflection of this idea that people are going to be able to access this area regardless of park ticket, because we have a dedicated shop just for Mario merchandise. Now, obviously, operationally, we know the shops in Super Nintendo World just get crazy from our experience, Wizard, of going in there.
Yeah.
So having a secondary venue is always helpful, but I believe they're dedicating so much to some of this stuff in Celestial Park specifically, because they kind of do want people to still be able to buy merchandise even if they didn't necessarily get into Super Nintendo World via theme park entry. Am I on the right track, you think?
I believe so, because so far I've heard that, or when Alicia Stella was on my channel, she said the leading rumor was that it was after 6 p.m. it becomes free for everyone, so that's City Walk for everyone. And I think there'll also be another store just like this one, Harry Potter store, just outside the land, same type of purpose as the Nintendo store. Oh, I think you're muted.
Sorry about that. Do apologize. I don't want to drown out the amazing phones there, but I think you're. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Also, too, we have fountains, by the way. Hey, what do you know about that, Wizard?
Another fountain, another one,
another fountain. So I heard
nice little Mario statue on top.
I was looking at Twitter and a couple of places online, and they were saying, well, is this a lot like what Epcot recently just did, right? And it's like, no. Epcot.
They took away a fountain.
Yes, they took away a fountain, and there are no rolling grassy hills and so forth. And, the amount of lush vegetation here is truly beyond words. So it's a little different. We go on here. You see the pizza restaurant right there, which you got to have in terms of your modern theme park right here. But right next to that,
I like the sign looks gorgeous. Pizza
doesn't it?
Look at that.
It looks so great. We see more hardscaping treatment. We see really amazing light fixtures, just really looking good right here. And we kind of know this is pretty accurate because they're so late into development right here. Mm-hmm. What you see is what you get.
Wait, look at that. I think that's still my favorite portal. Oh, especially because it's going to light up or do the electricity thing. That's cool.
I love that. I agree with you.
I like how all of them have the, that little the Mario treatment where it's like a little LED light tunnel inside. That's really cool. That purple inside.
Yes. It to me it seems kind of like an LED screen almost. It's kind of wrapped around right there to create those amazing looks. The rock work. We saw. I think this was one of the first pieces of finished detail, right? That was revealed via BioReconstruct. This thing looks totally awesome. It looks so cool. So
in fact, it's going to be very hard to get me out of there at nighttime.
Yeah, I think it's going to be hard to get a lot of people out of there.
Speaking of 6 p.m., this park better not be closing 6 p.m. Like the other Universal parks do in the off season, because boy, you're going to want to be at that land at night.
They have placed such an emphasis on night. I really do doubt it. I think they will. I think they're going to keep this one open. We'll see. Off hours.
Well, actually, the Blue Dragon's part of City Walk, but still, God, even this looks great at nighttime. I don't know if they showed in the follow-up video, but at least in the renderings on the blog post, they showed nighttime, like all of the dragons full of LEDs, and it's a blue ones too. It's so nice. Oh, there it is. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Look at that. It looks so good.
I'd only want to eat it at night just to look at it.
Yes, I agree with you. Also, too, people. Maybe they see this, maybe they don't. This kind of bridge that where you walk over. We still have more of the integration of water around.
I see that. There it is, that blue bridge with the little decorations on top there.
Oh, more water.
I
more
bet
foliage.
you that's a koi pond or something underneath.
Ooh.
It's a fix with the Asian. It looks like it's an Asian type of restaurant. So I feel like that'd be really cool. A little koi pond right there.
I never thought about that, but that absolutely could be what it is. It just looks so good to me. It looks so awesome. I really do love how this is all working out right here. Really, really cool stuff. If we continue, it might be a koi pond, but you can see the river right there, or the water body of water there. And then here it's going to go around. It's going to kind of swing around here, but you can see that amphitheater type seating / standing, depending on how they do it. I think it's seating. At least to me, it looks like it. But we'll see. For that lagoon show.
Because if you look at BioReconstruct's photos, you can see clear indents and clear stadium type seating already in there.
Nice. Perfect. It swings around. We have a lot of space around here, by the way, too. This is not...
Yeah. See, and for those people that are concerned, the seating area, but then you see that massive walkway on the perimeter. It's it's clearly sectioned off. You see, it's clearly sectioned off between seating and hanging out in the water area, and then walking around it. And look, I just noticed these these little 3 ponds. See that these little ponds or waterfalls that go, looks like connects to the hotel there. That's kind of cool. I didn't see that before.
I didn't see that before either. I'm glad you pointed that out, because I keep saying it. I sound like a broken record. I'm sorry, chat, for sure. But just just integrating water. I mean, we just don't see it a lot. Think about Galaxy.
I think we can call it Epic Universe Journey of Water.
Yes, the Journey of Water Epic Universe, inspired by Moana. I just really do love this, because you create like a sound, you create an atmosphere with it. You can light it up differently.
Kinetic energy too.
Yes, kinetic energy for sure, especially the waterfall portions of these things as they dip down various pools right here. Just really, really smart design. I really love it. It's something that was dearly missing from things like Epcot, or Galaxy's Edge, for example. Even Cars Land to a certain extent. It's really cool to see this.
It's funny, actually, all of Universal Orlando's parks, I think it would have a body of water. Each one has a lake, and this one obviously is massive. But Islands Adventure has their body of water, and Florida has their body of water. It's funny, it's continuing that trend, which is good.
I couldn't agree with you more. There is that restaurant, I believe it's what?
Atlantica? Go back for a second to that. We're right by the portal. I think it was I think it was the Harry Potter portal area. Right there. Okay, so to the left, anyone, if you're curious, so you'll be going in the portal, and to the left where that white gate is, those are the exit gates. Each one has one. Dark Universe has a dark, black, spiky one. But yeah, so because I know some people, and rightfully so, you can't see them, but they're like, "Oh, do we go in and out the same way?" But no, so you go in the portal and then out the exit gate, and there'll be there's a security booth to make sure you don't go in the exit and out the entrance area. So that's what those gates are, for anyone who's wondering.
That's a good detail right there, and it is. I think some people do have some operational concerns of like, ingress and egress traffic through the various portals. How limiting is that going to be? How congested is that going to be? We're thinking with those exits, though, that will really help alleviate a lot of those issues. And just like Universal Studios Hollywood does with Super Nintendo World, they do enforce that pretty good.
The one way in and one way out. Yeah, the same type of thing there. And a better look at that plaza area. That's Harry Potter's one with the different colored pavement of where you go and enter that area.
Gotcha. We see some gazebos and stuff right here, which is a really cool kind of detail.
And that right there, that little gazebo, I think, is me like a little snack stand.
Yeah. Gotcha. That's what it looked like to me. And then we see this kind of. It's this.
So that's Astronomica.
Astronomica. Gotcha.
The children's splash pad, which is basically what you a bigger version of what you see in City Walk, at least in Hollywood, with the jumping fountains and they'll probably light up in colors, type of thing.
Gotcha. So we're seeing some.
They're calling that an attraction, but I mean, all these theme parks call random things attractions. Like I've seen Disney call some random things attractions. Like, okay.
Yeah, I this is why there's a distinguishment between attractions and rides, right?
Yeah. Technically, I mean, and I mean, not that Disney or Universal are really wrong for it, because I mean, it is, and like if kid spends hours in there, it's an attraction, right? Like if a kid spends hours on Donald's boat, I mean, it's an attraction. I mean, it's closed right now, but when it's open, whenever that happens. It's an attraction.
I don't disagree with you. However, I remember DCA calling, you can see the moving Constellation Carousel, the moving figures right there. I remember when DCA opened in 2001, they called a display of a tractor an attraction, which just tractor sitting there.
What, were you allowed to climb on it?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, okay. That one I don't agree with. If kids were like climbing on it, I'm like, okay, I can see it's for the kids. Like be like a play area. But yeah, if it was like if you couldn't get on it, then that's interesting.
It's like they took one of the bulldozers they were using to build the park and then just put it on display. It's very strange. What a weird time. You can see right here the Atlantic restaurant, surf and turf. Definitely seafood related items. But they made a big point about the floor to ceiling windows right here.
Yeah, because look at that. I mean, you can just sit there and look at the water. I mean, and also the ceiling of this Atlantic place looks gorgeous. It's themed like an aquarium, so it's gorgeous. Like
so cool.
And look, you can look. There's those tables right there, and you just sit and look at the water. I mean, I can probably go out there all day and not ride a single thing and just sit there and enjoy myself. Especially if it's after 6 p.m. when it's free. That'll be my nighttime thing. Just chill there, my relaxing day right there. Oh, so good.
So good. Love the details. You can see right here we have returned. So I believe, is there anything else that you want to bring out in Celestial Park?
No, I think that's pretty much covered Celestial, I believe.
Okay, well,
Vash, it's all your fault. Okay, whatever it is, it's all your fault. I feel like
it's all my fault. What I do to deserve this? Why? What is it? Why? Okay, here we go. Let's see. Sorry about that, guys. However, let's see if I can find. No, not that one. This one right here. So we know the most about this. Like I was saying before, we have seen previous incarnations of the Super Nintendo World land in various other iterations, right? With Universal Osaka, if I'm not mistaken, right, Wizard? And then Hollywood.
That's right.
Okay. But what distinguishes this the most is that Epic Universe is going to get all 3 on day 1. That's a very significant improvement over the kind of what do you want to say, the trickle feed of this kind of stuff at Universal Osaka, and the Super Nintendo portion that's going to be exclusive to Hollywood, or what they're getting exclusively. This will have Yoshi. Again, Hollywood didn't have Yoshi. That's a big distinguishment there. And it'll also have Donkey Kong with its coaster. I believe they're calling it the
Minecart Madness.
Minecart Madness, right. At least that's the Japanese version of that attraction right there. It's a really cool ride system. I'm sure you guys know all about it, but just for the people who are filing in new here, you're going to be able to jump the track as part of this coaster. So you'll see the track present. It's like, oh, okay, like this is just a standard coaster. But what you will hopefully not see, or will be very obfuscated through certain thematic touches, is that there's a real track and there's a fake track. So it's
and the
really
real track,
cool.
like vertical, and the fake track,
right?
That video game looking minecart track.
So cool. This is a really, really cool idea. I love this. I cannot wait to see, the deluxe version of Super Nintendo World. I think this is going to be really, really awesome. And also, too, in terms of even past this point, Wizard, what are we thinking? Luigi's Mansion?
Yeah, probably Luigi's Mansion, and that'll take up just a little bit of space, and then maybe even more Nintendo after that to fill in the rest of that space there. But this original version will actually be, definitely be slightly beats Osaka as the actual biggest version. There'll be a space under Peach's castle for either another meet and greet or maybe another mini game that Osaka and Hollywood don't have. So it'll be by square foot even bigger, which will be pretty cool.
Wow. This is so cool. I know everybody's excited about this. Even me. Like, look, I've been the the Hollywood version. I can't wait to see this version. I can't wait to see Yoshi up there creating that kinetic energy up there. I can't wait to see Donkey Kong. I gotta ride Donkey Kong. This thing sounds so cool, so incredible. Man, really, really good stuff. Now moving northward, or maybe it's not north, but guys, you get what I'm saying. Moving upwards towards not the Wizarding World, but not the How to Train Your Dragon, but where is it? Do I have it? Come on!
Oh, you missed the best one, Doctor.
Yeah, the Dark Universe. Where's the Dark Universe portion? Come on! Yes, Universal Monsters. Here we go. Sorry, guys. Do apologize. This right here looks super, super cool. Oh, by the way, a lot of this stuff comes from Orlando Park Stop or Theme Park Stop, Alicia Stella's outlet. Got to give all the credit to her for a lot of the information that we have. They've been doing a really, really awesome job over there. But this just seems incredibly cool. Now we've gotten a little bit of visuals, we've got a little bit of story that we didn't previously know before. A lot has been said about Victoria Frankenstein. Now I'm going to have Wizard explain this, but again, this is supposed to be a descendant from Victor Frankenstein. Is that accurate, Wizard?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like his daughter, but certainly someone, a relative of Victor Frankenstein. The land is set in modern day, 2025, and it's like a historic town, right? So whoever, it's like a touristy town now. It's like almost like you go to like Solvang or one of these crazy Paris. You could go to like a Paris right now. You see all the historic artifacts like Versailles, touring it. But so what's happening here is Victoria Frankenstein finds this out. She doesn't like it. She says, "What the heck? They're ruining my town. They're ruining my father's legacy and name." So she goes and she wants to get revenge on all the guests by unleashing all the monsters, and that's what the main story of the land is. But really, to also get further, the main story of the ride. So you see Victoria Frankenstein. She's rumored to have an animatronic in the queue of the attraction, maybe probably the pre-show area, and then she's going to go out and she's going to have you tour because the main attractions you're touring the mansion, but then she's going to play a trick on you and she's going to unleash all the monsters from their cages instead of you going on a tour. So then they're going to try to come and attack you, and you'll see all the monsters in animatronic form trying to, when there'll be screens, the screens will be like the Secret Life of Pets, where they're like behind the animatronics, like helping the scene a little bit. So it's not like Transformers, but like more like pet style. And then the animatronics will be trying to get you. Frankenstein, Dracula, Wolfman, and I'm sure they'll make an Invisible Man joke in there somewhere. They have to, right? And then the werewolf or the Wolfman will obviously he escapes. They all escape. So then they take over the Darkmoor village, which results in the meet and greets, right? And that's how they're roaming the village.
Right.
And Wolfman goes to his town, or his little area, way off in the woods, and that's where the Curse of the Werewolf coaster comes into place, where you'll see him transforming into the werewolf every night. And then, whatchamacallit? Oh, yes, plenty of fog machines already installed in the land, so there'll just be constant fog. Almost like not scary farm, like every night, and the fog pumping throughout the village all day to make it really spooky for you, which would be cool.
Yes, very, very spooky. I love the idea because I guess in the entry past the portal, you're going to be passing through gravestones. Is that right?
Yeah, you also have gravestones. Yeah,
which is so cool. We hearing that they're going to do fog. I hope they do because that sounds awesome as well.
Oh, and we have the as you saw in the video, the little lightning rod thing will have be lighting up with electricity every so often, and then the windmill restaurant over there by the werewolf coaster the windmill will be lighting up on fire every so often, just like in the movie, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, you can see it actually. Let's see if this is included in this update right here. Yeah, you can see the the mill is up, right? the actual propellers aren't, but I guess they're going to be on fire, like you said, and then that's going to create the ambience for the bar. Totally awesome, very very cool stuff right here. You can see the level of theming in this photo right here, the degree to which they are, really creating that detail, that atmosphere, that texture that will be so prominent in this various area. It's going to be super cool. Aussie Extreme Infinity, do you want to address that, Wizard, before we move on here?
Oh, yes. With that, you think of it? Yes, Universal Studios Hollywood itself has plenty of expansions to come, but until the Olympics and then afterwards, so that'd be pretty cool too. And the Universal's existing Orlando parks.
Adding 1,000 rooms on site, which never, they don't have a hotel to speak of at this point. So that's going to be really, really cool. We know that there's going to be expansion. Trust me, they're going to get very, very aggressive. And John DeVoist, is correct. I've not heard otherwise. The future expansion pad right there will feature
the feature of the Black Lagoon.
Right, and you could expect this place to expand. I think the demand is going to be very, very high in which to do that. But for the signature e-ticket attraction, we are hearing Kuka Arm for sure, right? And also a much more physical take on the Kuka Arm technology. People will know that the Forbidden Journey, let's say, at the Wizarding World features some screens, some projection domes. Well, what if those had been removed and in favor of a more physical-based ride scenes and so forth? Very, very cool stuff. You also, I believe, you were saying that they might try to do some drop effects. Is that right?
Yeah, they're gonna really use that arm, and they're gonna drop you. Probably as you're getting attacked or something, they'll be like, and then there'll be some drops during the ride, which will be pretty cool.
Man, aggressive. You can see right here, this is the patent that they've filed here. What we're thinking that this is during the pre-show, Frankenstein comes to life and is walking towards the audience, and this is the patent for that mechanism. We also see maybe a Phantom of the Opera type setup in which you have the Phantom playing an organ for the audience right there. Very, very cool stuff. A lot of physicality here. Don't think screens when it comes to Epic. A lot of these concepts are going to be brought to real life, which is very, very cool. Moving around, though, we get to... Do you want to do Wizarding World first, or do you want to do How to Train Your Dragon?
Wizarding World.
Wizarding World. Okay, let's see.
I already... Thank you.
Very cool. Right here, we have...
Smash that like button, or Disney buys Universal. See? Do it.
Exactly right. Oh man, not good. Now, okay, I've heard there's some interesting stuff here. Is the theater still on the table here?
But so the theater and the ride are one large show building. So
okay,
the theater will be in like this like a circus, the circus show from Fantastic Beasts.
Gotcha. Okay.
And the ride is next to it, and because if you look at the show building, you'll see it's kind of tiered heights, and the smaller one's the theater, and that larger one is the attraction.
Right. So let me see if I can get some of those visuals on the screen, because
this land will be where the first expansion will be. The Great Hall Theater Show Experience will be coming over here.
Right. So are they supposed to have the dining experience? Is that
Yeah, it'll be about $150 per person, and they'll have a big LED screen, and there'll be like this massive theater, the Great Hall Dinner Show, and that could start construction soon, before the park opens, but it'll be opening. If it does open, it'll be open in 2026.
That's a very high price point. I mean, look, the Great Hall has been a dream location for many Harry Potter fans. We still have not seen a Universal take that on. I did hear about a concept where we know from the films that the food magically appears. How do you do that in a theme park setting? Well, what if your server actually put a cover over your table, and then your food magically appears when that cover is removed? The way they do that would have been via the kitchen being below the dining room, and then that food accelerated upward or elevated upward towards your table. I don't know if they're going to do that here, but it was a really cool concept. We almost got it in Hollywood drag. But you can see these amazing Parisian facades. Now, a lot of people have been making note about the Fantastic Beasts, right, theming, and I think we want to put a lot of that to bed here. There was, I think, a plan early on to do very heavy Fantastic Beasts integration. However, they had, obviously those films didn't do all that well, but they still had a lot of great ideas that they wanted to bring to life here. Yes, we're going to 1920s Paris, right, for this kind of Fantastic Beasts look and feel, but you're using the Flu Network to go to the British Ministry of Magic. Is that correct?
That's right. They're going to call it the Metro Flu, and that's actually how you also get to the Great Hall, because the Great Hall would be built to the south of there.
Gotcha.
Metro
Okay.
Flu to get to the Great Hall as well. And then besides, so the Great Hall, they're going to start off with one show or one dining area, but there's space to make it double if it's very popular and they share the same kitchen, but then still space for an actual second attraction, and they can make that anything. And because you can just use the Metro Flu Network to go to these different different worlds inside the Harry Potter world, which is cool because you can still experience something that was never built before, that you can't experience the Parisian stuff in any other Universal park. Then you also get to enjoy the original characters through using the Metro Flu thing.
And the dark ride here is going to be absolutely spectacular. The way I've heard it described, Wizard, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but imagine you're on a simulator. Okay, simulator, all good things, right? We've been on those, Star Tours, for example. But imagine that simulator being in a drop tower, sort of like Tower of Terror. Okay, understand. We've kind of seen a little bit of that with Rise of Resistance, all right? Now take all of that and put it on a track. And that's basically what you're getting with this amazing themed dark ride experience at the Wizarding World in Ministry of Magic. Wizard, is that right there?
Yeah, that is just about exactly correct. To be Rise of the Resistance, that last section, that drop section on a track, as we be going up and down the elevator through the Ministry of Magic, as trying to get Professor Umbridge as she tries to escape her trial. And then you want to put her back into jail. So that should be quite an experience. But also it should be quite an experience because the key will be the Flu Network. So you'll come out of the fireplace in that massive atrium hallway that you see in the movie from when Harry Potter and Harry and Weasley and them, they go and they're this. Yeah, that's incredible. So that'd be pretty neat to just walk through by itself.
Yes, and it looks totally killer. It sounds amazing. Obviously, they did show during that promo video that British Ministry of Magic kind of forecourt area. It just looks so good. I cannot wait for this to open. And look, I mean, people I know they have been critical about the choice of doing a third version of the Wizarding World. All I can say is, look, the Wizarding Worlds at Universal Studios Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios Florida are the most in-demand areas of those respective properties, right? Huge demand, and people are still very much, they want to see more Wizarding World. On the merchandise end, it's still a huge seller. For example, like butterbeer, right? So I did a little math based on butterbeer sales and so forth. In 2018, Universal came forward with, hey, we've sold 20 million butterbeers since opening at the Orlando parks. And it was like, okay, well, we can kind of extrapolate a lot of data from that and see how much they actually made from that based on the various price increases and so forth. So in terms of gross revenue, Universal generated about $100 million just from butterbeer sales alone via 20 million sales, about 2.5 million gallons of product actually sold. Huge revenue driver there. But by 2025, ironically, when Epic Universe opens, I believe they would have sold about 40 million butterbeers between these three various areas. We're talking $250 million, about $264 million in gross parks, and about 5 million gallons of product sold. That's enough to fill Disneyland's Rivers of America with just butterbeer. So this is still popular. Oh, also too, in 2023, Hogwarts Legacy was the best-selling game of 2023 with over 20 million copies. So people are still interested in this franchise. They're still supporting it. This was a smart move to go in this direction.
Oh, 100%. I love Harry Potter. In fact, when I shared that the video to my social media, my personal one of my friends was like, "Man, they should bring another Harry Potter world here to California." I'm like, "Oh, I know, right?" So
Right?
see, people like it.
I love it. But you know what they are bringing to at least Epic Universe that will be different from what they brought before is going to be How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, yeah. I can train my dragon just fine.
Well, you're going to get the chance to do it here. That is for sure. Some people, again, critical of the IP choice here. What you have to remember with all of this, right? There are multiple metrics that Universal is using when choosing these themed lands. And here's the thing. These are not just attractions, right? These are themed lands. They had to have enough lore, depth, and so forth to create experiences around. Stuff with enough unique texture, unique architecture, prominent locations for restaurants and so forth to really immerse you into these experiences. So choosing How to Train Your Dragon, I think, was a really, really savvy move for multiple reasons. One, Wizard, from a merchandise level, I think you were telling me a statistic that How to Train Your Dragon merch is still top 5 seller for Universal at its parks. Is that right?
Oh, yes. It is still top 5 seller, even though there's not really any attractions or anything based on it, any shows or anything. It's still the top 5 merch seller to this day. All the parks, is pretty crazy.
That's remarkable. And again, I mean, the last entry in that franchise, what was 2016? I want to say, or 2019?
Yeah, no, it's 26. I think it was 26, or maybe 2019. But it's more than 5 years ago, I think.
Oh yeah. Let's see. How to Train Your Dragon 3 was that was the Hidden World. Yeah, 2019. Okay, yeah. 2019, I recently got my hands on a couple of those movies, which is kind of why I know that. But yeah, look, some people were like, "Well, it's only the 68th most, highest grossing franchise," and it's like you got to think beyond that, guys. Just like when Disneyland was created, right? With Fantasyland, people will remember. And this goes to the argument of Dark Universe, where it was a 90-year-old franchise, right? But people will remember when Disneyland was opened in 1955. Fantasyland, right, was the outgrowth of some of the only pieces of IP that were actually Disney owned at that time. What IPs were chosen? Peter Pan, Snow White, remember, came out in 1937, big hit, obviously. And then Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. It's like, why would they choose Mr. Toad's Wild Ride of all these different films in their catalog? I mean, couldn't you just as easily pick something from Cinderella or something like that? And it's like, no. Think about it. If you're coming from a filmmaking perspective, as an Imagineer was back in 1955, and you want to necessarily incorporate different emotions. Oh, thank you. If you want to necessarily provide different emotions for your theme park product that is completely new at the time, well then, hey, your romance and your love and all that and your fear was Snow White's Scary Adventures. Peter Pan had the wonder, the magic, and everything like that. Obviously, it's been just one of the best rides of all time. But also, Mr. Toad's provides the comedy, right? It provides the hijinks and so forth. Similarly, with Epic Universe, you have, this How to Train Your Dragon is going to be geared towards a little bit more younger people, right? Families with little ones. We know that the roller coaster is going to be not to the degree that maybe Starfall Racer is, but it's going to be really a family coaster. We know that Dark Universe will have your, for people looking for that horror aspect, especially we're going to see a lot of Halloween Horror Nights integration with that, right? If you're looking for more kind of adult or scary stuff, that's where that is. Wizarding World's going to have the magic, the wonder. We already went into how successful and viable that franchise is. And then we have Super Nintendo World, which is your real 4-quadrant franchise where they're going to have attractions from, the broadest spectrum of families can actually enjoy. That's the decisions behind. Those are some of the decisions behind the IPs listed here. You got to think bigger picture. Don't think of strength of IP necessarily. Think about how you can execute those to a very high level and degree, which honestly, frankly, has been the deciding line more than just the strength of IP. Would anybody want to go to Adventures Campus necessarily over Pandora? I think not.
Oh yeah, because you gotta make the thing good,
You do.
And How to Train Your Dragon, everyone always says, Universal needs more things for kids. Well, here's a lot of things for kids. You got the boat ride, you got the play areas, you got the Untrainable show, which will be for everyone.
Oh, yes, and here let me play a little bit of that show here for you.
Look at
that. The Beijing show was created with the intention of bringing it over to Epic Universe when this park actually opened. So they really spent a lot of money and time on it.
I mean, look at that. That's so cool.
It just looks totally awesome. You have this sort of semi-animatronic figure that this actor is actually riding. You see this amazing flight mechanism, and the walls are projection mapped with the stage having a large screen conveying, this creature flying through this space right here. Not too dissimilarly, actually, from what the Hyperion used to provide with Aladdin, right, with the flying carpet and so forth. But this is just taken one step further.
I mean, look at that. So How to Train Your Dragon will be quite, and then of course you have the fantastic dining experience with the Mead Hall.
Yes.
So I mean, it's pretty a complete land. You think about it. There's a ride for everyone, merch.
Yep.
There's more water. There's
got the water battle boat ride, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a pretty complete theme park land. I feel like most complete since like Cars Land.
I think so. I think you have multiple attractions here. The Great Hall restaurant looks totally cool. The kind of Viking, theme and texture is really, really cool. I really like the thematic touches that they're actually bringing to this whole thing. I believe if we look at the most recent Elisa Stella update right here, you can see kind of some of the details that go into some of this stuff. Like, for example, the wood slats, let's say, on the top of this kind of shed structure right here. You can see this cabin structure that will be, I believe, the load area and unload area right here. It just looks really, really cool. You can see some actual finish work right here. So
that would be a nice candy shop.
Yes, that
would be a second launch of the coaster right there.
Grog and Gruel right here. You can actually see that prominently on that guy right there. It just looks totally cool. Now the coaster's going to be intimate. Is that right, Wizard?
Yes, nice intimate family coaster. Couple launches, few animatronics of Toothless and Hiccup.
Very, very cool. We can see some more
nice
water.
Lake.
Well, will be water right there. Doesn't look necessarily super impressive right now, but trust me, it'll look really, really cool when it's actually filled. But it just looks totally phenomenal. I really like the approach that Universal's going with. And look, I gotta, I know we're limited time right now, so I'll be quick. But a lot of people have been criticizing Universal in terms of its IP integration and how they're licensing product, right? Okay, I just want to remind everybody. Disney opened a theme park in 1989. And we know it today as Disney's Hollywood Studios. But Wizard, what was the original name of that theme park?
It was called MGM. Do these MGM Studios.
That's right. Because Disney necessarily didn't have the strength of IP on its own, but wanted to do a studio park, they had to team up with a studio, MGM, to bring some of its historical library to life, especially when it comes to the Great Movie Ride. In 1987, Disney opened a attraction based on the Star Wars franchise, Star Tours, with the help of George Lucas. That was long before Star Wars was actually acquired by Disney.
Indiana Jones, 1995.
Correct, right? And Avatar, right? Avatar,
2017.
Right, but they started working on it in 2011, and they didn't actually acquire Fox until 2019. These things happen, they do, and it's fine as long as the execution is at a very high degree and those licensing rights are figured out beforehand. There is no problem with taking somebody else's canon and bringing it to life in a theme park space if there's demand for it. And for all of these things, Wizard and I can assure you, there is.
Yeah, this park is going to be jaw-dropping, and you all are going to love it.
I do agree. Was there anything we missed, Wizard? Was there anything that you wanted to go over in more depth?
Trying to think. I don't think so. I think we did a nice deep dive. Wouldn't you say, Doctor?
I think it was pretty good. I think it was pretty deep
Pretty
here. I absolutely love what Universal's doing right here, and I guess we'll close it out with the rest of the video right here. Is that really? Not that. We're gonna get copywritten so badly for that. No. Right.
Okay, so we'll see the fair on Knott's Berry Farm. Extreme. So Cedar Fair would have to build another theme park like that, but they acquired Knott's Berry Farm when it was already nicely themed up. So I'm not sure they have that quite of an interest even in building another park. But Knott's Berry Farm can build new themed lands that have some nice quality if they want to.
Yes, that is true.
Resort. This gives us the opportunity to bring people to Universal Orlando for an entire week of the most incredible experiences they can imagine. Universal Epic Universe changes everything you thought you knew about Universal Orlando Resort.
The overarching emotion that Epic inspires is what it's like to have your wishes ultimately fulfilled.
Beyond the storytelling and the immersiveness, there's an emotional component to each of the worlds.
The worlds that were chosen represent so many things for so many people, and they're so vastly different. Thrill and fear and joy and all of it comes together in a type of experience that you have never been able to find anywhere else.
Now, is this... We're going to see
thrill
it right here,
and
Wizard.
Fear and...
Is that Victoria right there?
Yes, that's Victoria Frankenstein.
Gotcha. Okay, just want to get clarity.
Joy and all of it comes together in a type of experience that you have never been able to find anywhere else.
Everything that we do is really the culmination of decades of innovation and creativity and immersive storytelling. So we continue to perfect our craft, and Epic is really bringing it all to a whole new level.
Epic Universe is built on an amazing concept. The idea that you can go into a world through some kind of a portal and you come out in a world you never could dream of, you can experience it. I think it's going to just feed the imagination of so many people of all ages.
What I think we're trying to do most is give people the opportunity to really experience the full thrill of being alive.
Pretty good.
Gorgeous, Dr. Dre. And I want to thank you all for watching and tuning in on YouTube. And thank you especially to my lovely Patreon members, whoever watches this later or not. If you want to join the Patreon, join at patreon.com/club722. I have a special project tracker I'm working on to be released tomorrow for all the paid members. And Dr. Dre, where can they find you?
Hey, let me go ahead and cancel this right here, right there. Is this stop screen? Okay, there we go. Sorry. The best place that people can find me is going to be at That Park Place, where we upload just about every day, a couple videos, and we cover everything from entertainment, the studios, the Peltz drama, the gaming, theme parks. We try to cover as broad a spectrum as possible, and giving people the most accurate and informed information possible right there. So please go ahead and subscribe to that if you would. By the way, live streams every single Thursday at noon Eastern, which are a lot of fun. Definitely check that out. We just recently had one with Louis Wasserman's Ghost, Culture Casino, Lorena, Spencer even came in. It was quite a blast. So definitely check that out. Also, too, we both of us together do a twice monthly podcast called Theme Park Universal. We cover the whole gamut of theme parks across the world, which is really, really cool. So please go ahead and check both those channels out if you wouldn't mind.
And also subscribe to Theme Park Universe. We're 2 away from 100 subscribers.
Oh, wait. There you go, right there. Definitely some awesome stuff right there. We just recently covered what Casual's first experience going to Universal in so long. And also, too, Marty was with us to break down everything from drones to Disneyland Forward. It was a lot of fun, so please subscribe to that.
And everyone else, have an epic day. Oh, how